Hey folks, today I'm going to be taking apart a Circupool, actually a Blue Torrent pool pump. Same as the Circupool, same as the Black & Decker. All the, I guess, Chinese made variable speed pool pumps that are so popular now. Overall pretty reliable. I had one that I guess I didn't run through the winter properly, and it ended up having a issue with the bearing. So Blue Torrent was really good. They sent me a new pump. They also sent me bearings to repair the existing one. So today I'm going to give it a shot. So here we have this one's actually a Blue Torrent 2 horsepower variable speed pump. Now I've already disconnected it, as you can see, taking it apart here and here, taking the electrical off, put the cap back on. But the next step is to get the pump disconnected from the motor so we can get to the impeller. Now these here are, let's see, 14 millimeter bolts. I've already loosened them. They're actually not all that tight. So despite this being installed for a couple years, it still wasn't too big of a deal to get them apart. Okay, once they're apart, the pump is free to come up. Well, no, I take that back. Once they're apart, we go to the next phase of just tearing it apart. Now originally I'd taken off this base plate, put it back on. You can see it's not necessary, but in the initial disassembly I couldn't get it apart without taking that off, so I'm going to remove it again just for ease of operation here. And this is just a normal Phillips screwdriver. Okay, with those two removed, here and here, and then take that off completely and just set it to the side. So inside, this may be stuck on here, this may not. I don't know what this is, part of the impeller, but we're going to set it aside for now. Now here we have the actual impeller. Now to get to that, originally I thought, well, there must be some kind of shaft in here that you can catch on with a screwdriver to release it. But the way this actually works is, if you can see back here as I rotate that, there's some, let's see right there, some not screw holes, but just some holes. What you end up doing is wedging a small screwdriver in those holes, basically to hold it. And as you do that, it'll allow you to unscrew the impeller. Yeah. Yeah, so that's all definitely fouled up. So I think that is the source of my noise problems that I was having with this pump. So I'm going to see about getting that out of there and what the next step is. Okay, so it's also a 14 millimeter socket. Next thing you got to do is get this plate off. However, these are egregiously tight due to them being into this cast body that's got some corrosion on it. So we had to pull out the big guns with the torque wrench, and that gave it the attitude adjustment it needed. Okay, those four out, then in theory this plate just pops off. Now theory and practice never work out the same when something's been used for as long as it has. So I've got it loose here. You can see it's pretty grimy. You can see, whoa, that's in bad shape. But sometimes you just need a bigger hammer, and that's what I did to get it off. Now we're going to take a look at this, and that looks not pleasant. Let's see what it looks like as we dig in further. So definitely bad seal here. I'm surprised this thing was still running. All this buildup of nasty from the pool. So it's going to take me a little while to scrape all this clean and get rid of this. So we'll react in a moment. Okay, so here's the bearing kit that they sent me. BDX BTV AR25. Let's see what's inside. Okay, so in this kit is a new seal for the impeller shaft itself and a new, I guess, Teflon bearing for it to sit on here on this shaft thing. I don't know what to call it. So this is the old one on here, and it just pops off, but it also comes apart, so it looks like I'm gonna have to pry that off with a screwdriver. Yeah, simple screwdriver operation here gets that to come off, and let's see how the new one goes on. Okay, so that slid on pretty well. I used some pipe dope to give it a little bit of a attitude adjustment there, and it slid right on. So this is a bit of a conundrum. So this looks like a Teflon sealing surface here, and it's in here, but there's no rings or notches or anything to grab with a screwdriver tip. So I'm guessing it's going to have to be a destructive removal, and I'm sure hoping this works, because if it doesn't, then I can't get it back together. Okay, so I attempted a chisel and hammer operation, but so the threads here are actually rubber, and it just kind of pops out for what it's worth. So I guess no big deal. We'll see about getting this new guy in here. Oh, and it actually doesn't even have threads on there. I'll show you. It just sits in and seals. I find this to be a very peculiar type of seal, given that the actual sealing surface is just this edge, which is a relatively hard plastic on top of this, probably Teflon if I had to guess. Okay, so collectively then what I replaced is this Teflon seal, and I guess call this the impeller spring bearing bushing thing. Cool. So I guess as it turns out, I'm not sure I had to take this part off, but it came off and I got a lot of nasty off of here, so it may have been okay after all. Just so much of this calcified crud from the hard water we've had here. I guess we'll get it put back on. Line up those holes and then drop those back in. Okay, so got this back on. Just used a ratchet instead of that impact driver. I don't want to risk cracking the cast iron that it goes into. Let's see now. Next up, new seal gizmo here. Well, let's see. That does not look like it lines up centered, so I'm going to have to investigate. Bingo. These aren't tight enough. I thought I had them tight, but there's still some more to go. Okay, now it's seated, no gap all the way around, so hopefully that lines it up. Alright, I started test fitting things together, and I realized I made a fundamental error here. So these bolts come in from the back side, but these bolts have to be in place or I'm going to have to remove this. So I get to take this apart all over again. Stand by. So I realized that one of the reasons it wasn't seating well is because there was crud built up on these. So a little bit of scraping, a little bit of steel brush, and hopefully it goes on better. And this time, before we do it, it goes that way. Put these bolts through. Dope. And now they will be in place as I mount this thing. Alright, so then that leaves the assembly of this guy here, and lo and behold, it lines up correctly this time. My bolts are ready to go for next time. Take my O-ring off here and clean it. Okay, O-ring's clean, back in place. Next job is going to be to get the impeller back on, which it will start to screw on until it stops. and then we go back to the back and put our screwdriver in again. Okay, so I continue to screw it, and now it's got quite a bit of friction here, so I'm guessing there's a happy set point of where to get this to. So we're going to try to back it off a little bit. Alright, so this is going to be something I'm going to have to follow up with, because I'm not sure entirely. The sound, wife's hair everywhere, the sound is that bearing, oh shit. Okay, the sound was because I did it wrong and this piece came off and blah blah blah. So now we're going to do it correctly, and hopefully, oh, this hair is driving me crazy. There we go. I swear they never stop coming. Alright. Alright, got the screwdriver captive in the end still. Bushings, 2 rubber bushings. And they sit on like that. And then our part, I call that dookie, sits on like so. And I guess that's right. I don't know. It still don't seem right, but we'll try it. Alright, so I'm going to assume that it's simply the friction on that seal, and as I look at it further, I think this is actually ceramic. This is much harder than Teflon. So whatever this seal is on this seal, as far as I can tell, that's the only thing keeping the water away from the pump itself. Okay, so I may call them, find out some more information about this. So now the impeller snout, whatever, I guess goes back on there. Yay, I think. And now alright, nothing to it. 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. Lined up pretty easy. And then the last step will be reattaching the base plate with these screws. Alright, so that's it, fully reassembled. Now, I can't swear that this is going to work, but for nothing else, it shows you how to get it apart, how to replace the parts that they claim to replace. I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can find out any more information, and hopefully come up with some hints to put in the text. Thanks.